everybody, welcome back to Kuma Reviews, and if you saw the recent unboxing, you know that right now we're reviewing CCSToys' Shin 1 Armageddon edition while I'm hitting the camera and everything like that, but that's how excited I am. So, giving you guys a measurement to the antenna, about 10 inches on the dot, and I like that nice solid height number there, but again, 10 inches. Before I give you guys a roundabout, one thing that I did put on them in terms of accessories were these blade gauntlets, and they pop in and out fairly easy. In fact, I'll use the spudger tool that it came with. See if I can't get in between there and get it out, because it's nice. I just don't want to touch, really, and break the blades. So, there are 2 points where it connects, and it should slide right in. Now, on the other side, I will tell you guys, it had problems going in, and it was because there was too much flash. Let me zoom in here. And I'm just saying this in case you guys have the same problem. I haven't read about it anywhere else. But see how it's like red, green, red? Well, the second part of the red, it was over too far. Like there was too much flash left or whatever. Like it wasn't cut properly, so I just took a razor blade and sheared it off some. But then it fit right on. But from there, you just kind of find the peck holes, push it in, and it should go in fairly easy, like right there, you know? Okay? So zooming back out, my hand out of the way, talking that guy up some. Really nice detailing. So when it comes to his back, he has a couple of different options there. Well, all right, the first is that guy there, relatively clean. And I like that they have a little space there. You could just pop in your fingernail, and it's fine. Single peg. Then he has backpack without wings. And then, of course, backpack with wings. Big, not really heavy, but obviously imbalance there. But we'll get into this part a little bit later. Just want to show you guys the different backpacks. All right, pop that out. Okay. Finishing the roundabout here. And we've already done the unboxing where we show all of the accessories. Mine was missing a box with batteries and LEDs or whatever. I actually have hundreds of the LEDs needed for these. I didn't realize that until after I ordered it from Amazon. And it was like, I pulled out my battery bin and it was like, I must have forgotten that I owned these a couple of times because I literally, like, it was a bunch of LR621, and a couple of LR626s or AG4. Like, the AG4s, literally, little packs of hundreds of them or whatever. And same with the LR621s. But I've got more en route from Amazon to add to the pile. But going over the LED gimmick. So, I love it. Very accessible. Button. Boom. Okay. Put the plate back on. Alright. And a lot of these panels are magnets. Button. Button. And you can see the little magnets right there. Okay. On the rear, there's a button. These gray pieces inside the thighs, button. Button. Now on mine, this one's really soft, the one on that side, so just watch out for that. And almost done here. 2 panels on the front of the shins. Alright. Button. And button. Okay, so cool light up feature here. I personally really like it. Just to show off the brightness of it. Boom. Boom. So pretty cool stuff, right? I do wish these ones were a little bit brighter in the thighs. But outside of that, like throughout the forearms, chest, eyes light up as well. Like, it's really cool stuff. Now, a friend of mine asked me about the plastic quality on this guy because of the fact that there is a little bit of bleed through. So it has nothing to do with the thickness of the plastic. I'll take this off, for example. The thighs. The regular dense plastic, matte finish, but unfortunately the LEDs are that bright. And what I explained to my friends is just the basic physics of plastic. Plastic is a porous material. So it's not super solid. It's not a brick where like every single thing is super tight together. Absolutely no light can get through, etc. That's just how plastic works. And unless a plastic is extremely thick, I'm talking about like when you get into the thickness of this turnstile and stuff like that, you know, depending on the brightness of the LEDs or light that you're shining through, it's going to shine through. Now, one thing that I told him, I was like, even as humans, if you take your hand and shine a light through it or whatever, there are going to be parts of your hand where you can see the light shining through your skin and stuff like that. Doesn't mean your skin has or your body has bad quality control or anything like that. We're just porous individuals. We're not like just everything's super. I don't know how to describe it. But the only way to avoid that is like painting over it or even like a darker color on the plastic would mute it, but it wouldn't completely just annihilate that shine through. But yeah, there is a bit, but it's not a reflection on the quality of this product. In fact, this is very solid. While I'm talking about that, die-cast joints. Die-cast all throughout, and that's why these panels work with magnets so well. So it's a big, heavy die-cast figure. The shipping weight was 8 pounds. Unfortunately, my scale is broken, and I've needed to get a new one for the longest time, but I haven't thought about it, so I haven't. I'd love to be able to weigh it for you guys, so I got to get on that. But package weight was 8 pounds, so I would say between materials and stuff like that, and I would say this is approximately between 5 and 6 pounds, right? But just good quality stuff. Die-cast frame, plastic outer shell, really good magnets, and I love this. This is in kind of reminds me of like future models and stuff like that because a lot of companies they do magnets and you have pieces falling off and stuff like that. No, whether it's these small pieces or large parts like the Shins, you're actually going to have to take effort to get these off, and they're not just falling off or anything like that. This is a good quality, huge product, and looking at the LEDs and stuff like that, this is just me. This thing's $400 at 10 inches. You get Flame Toys stuff that's, what, 6, 7 inches tall and things like that. Not as many LEDs and whatnot. Doesn't have the weight for like $500, $600. So, you know, just something to think about there when you're looking at just different products and stuff like that. Not throwing any shade, maybe I am, but it's whatever. But yeah, solidly built, big figure. Next we're going to go into the articulation, and since we already went over what the accessories are, we are just going to start playing with the accessories and stuff like that and having some fun. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and go over the articulation now. I have turned off the LEDs for this. Some of them, like the back button and the thigh buttons, you know, they're pretty open access, so I might graze by those, turn them on. Sorry in advance if that's like jarring to anybody, but yeah, comes with the territory. If I catch it, I'll try to turn them off. But head's on a ball joint. Okay. And there is an LED inside of the ball joint itself, so you don't have wires going through the neck. So it's nice. I like the way that that's engineered so that there's no articulation lost. And again, it's not to throw shade or anything like that. This time it's really not. But like the Flame Toys figures have kind of wires going through the neck and into the head and things like that to where it limits the mobility and stuff like that because the head might pop off at that point if you turn it too far and this and that. So where the neck meets the clavicle, that's another joint. I believe it's a ball joint. Just from the way that it rotates and things like that, it's pretty cool. I like that it rocks, but it doesn't do like a bunch of turning side to side and stuff like that, because sometimes when like you turn the head and the neck itself turns, that can be a hassle to get one back, especially as deep in as that is. Okay? So shoulders, we'll start with the butterfly first. See? Boom. 360 butterfly, actually. It's really cool, so it's not just back and forth, up and down, or anything like that. All right? So the shoulder pad itself, there's no movement there. We're just looking at the parallel here. But this part right here, it's a moving piece. All right? So he doesn't hit a full parallel there. But he also has that butterfly, so you can bring it up. Now 360. And these joints are nice and tight. In fact, I would call them perfect because they're tight, but they're not that like, I feel like I'm going to break this kind of tight. It's good. It's really good. All right. A dedicated bicep swivel. Get that out of the way. Boom. All right. Elbow. So I got a joint right there. Is this a joint as well? I'm not sure. Yep. Double joint it. Okay. Boom. And if you look, animate it. This is really exposed, so I wish that there was something kind of covering that. Okay. The wrist, no rock or anything like that. Plain 360. No rock here either, just making sure. And when it comes to changing out the hands, just boom. Okay. I'm surprised that that piece that it pegs into is clear, actually, because there's no light up gimmick with any of the hands, like Iron Man repulsors and things like that. No. Okay. Waist. Boom. Boom. Side to side. And then back bend. Okay. And crunch. So, and I will go ahead and just take that off. This here does not have any like swivel or crunch. It swivels, but I mean like no rock to it or anything like that. So the bend is completely going to be on this upper portion, okay? But then the bottom piece does have the side-to-side rock where this upper piece doesn't. So I like it. They're a tag team, if you will. All right, so putting that back on. Okay. And if you guys didn't notice, the back, to make sure that this is pegged on tight, but I don't want to peg it on too tight or anything like that. But these pieces do move. And the button's right where I'm holding it. I'm pressing it. Let me try that again. I don't think that... There we go. There we go. All right, boom. I just didn't have it pegged in correctly. All right. So now, I can actually freely move. There is some movement in there. So I'll loosen those up a bit. All right, with the thighs, outward, forward, backwards. All right, and it doesn't have drop hips or anything like that. Boom. And this is pretty cool. These parts do animate in the back. Really neat stuff. And those are magnets for the thighs, those lights. Okay. So those are knees, double jointed. And then ankle rock. And you saw that wow, it has two areas of bend in the foot. Make sure you guys can see that. That's really neat. Okay. And then, okay. And the ankle tilt was pretty loose for me. Or not pretty loose, pretty tight. Until I actually worked it the first time. Still pretty tight. But not bad. And the foot itself can rotate. Which is nice. It gives him a nice variety of stance because you do... Oh, I forgot to show the thigh swivel there. My bad. Not 360 because of the way that slants. But even when you're standing them here... Boom, boom, boom. It's nice to have the feet be able to face outwards with the legs. Okay. Now we talked about the hands, and he does come with a variety of them. Different weapon holding hands and things like that. But the hands that I currently have on them are the articulated ones. Alright. Multiple points of articulation in each of the fingers. Rotation in the thumb, as well as a bend at the knuckle there. Pretty cool stuff. I'm not going to use these to try to hold the weapons or anything like that when they're dedicated hands for that, but pretty cool. Overall, it's super articulated figure. I like it. Okay, the first accessory we're going to look at is the getter beam. So, what you do to set that up, and he actually has two pieces. It's this piece right here. You can use your finger, you can use whatever. Pops off, stays in firm, but pops off. And there's also a belly piece to show. But the beam is there, ready, locked, loaded. Okay. Well, actually, I don't use their spudger tool enough. This came with it. It's like, why not give it a go? There was that. But it also comes with the beginning of the getter beam itself. Okay? So, I was saying that mine didn't come with a packet of batteries as well as LEDs. So, the LED that it comes with, like outside of what's built into the figure, it's one controlled by a CR311 battery. It's like a little push battery. If I could show that. Okay. And the way these work, the LED is actually built into this cap here. And then you press it down, and it turns the light on. Okay. So mine's green. That's just because I happen to have one from Eastern Model Mega Man Zero model kit or whatever. So it's not the correct color because the one that comes with them is pink. So show you how this works though. Stick that inside. And even outside of, maybe it's partially a cope, I don't know. But I think it actually looks good and offsets the pink pretty well. Okay. Darken that up some so you guys can see how it looks. And turn off these front lights. Actually show it off. And again, that's green. I ordered a red one because of Chinese New Year. The company's not going to be able to send me one till like March. The actual pink one that came with it. And I can't find a pink one online anywhere, but I ordered red, so we're going to see how that looks. I think that should look fine, you know. But yeah, for now, green, just to show you guys how it works. Okay, now for the weapons. And I love that he comes with two separate weapons instead of one staff where you have to change out the ends. The first one we'll take a look at is the scythe. Let me measure this guy for you. And it's going to be a little bit longer with the tip on there. Okay. So this staff is, I'm measuring about 19 inches. So good luck with that inside of a DTOF. Okay? Now, it comes with the pole separated. These pieces also separate. Okay. The ends. And then, like the drill ends. It's not wanting to come off right now, but it comes separated and you peg it on yourself. Now, what's cool about this one is that there's animation to it. So if you watch this, all right, as I bring this part up, the whole thing starts to come out. And the drill goes in and out. So do it one more time, boom, and then boom. And you notice the front too. You can finish that guy up with that. All right? So that's the first one. The second is big old battle axe. All right? And then boom, why'd that one side come out so easy? Maybe it's the angle. Boom. Huh? Pretty cool, right? I freaking love it. Now the poles are metal, but they're a light metal, like not super heavy or anything like that. And then the ends are all plastic. So pretty cool stuff, man. And don't worry, we are going to have him holding his weapons and stuff like that here soon. But I wanted to show off the rest of the accessories and then really start to put it together like with the stand and things like that. Alright. We already went over how the back pieces change out, so we'll go ahead and just do that. And now we have wings. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more because these wings are big. That I will tell you. Okay. So, just going to go ahead and get it full spanned out. Boom, boom. Make sure my camera's positioned decently. All right. Okay, so looking at this, and of course I dropped my measure, so picking that up. Just giving you guys a roundabout measurement here. Wingspan of, make sure that I'm all, Jesus Christ. I have about 22 and a quarter inches. It's a big freaking boy. So, yeah. It's a big badass piece. Now, in terms of articulation for the wings, there are multiple areas here, and we'll just choose one side. So, there's a swivel there, okay, or swing joint, right where it meets. And then from there, there's a rotating joint right here. And there's also another swivel right there. And this one also goes in and out. So plenty of articulation. I'm sitting there swiveling at the wing, and that's why that's doing that. But plenty of playroom for you there. So whether you wanted kind of angled, whether you wanted just straight out, you know, rotated backwards, forwards, things like that. There's a lot that you can do with these, and I like it. I like it a lot. And I also like that, as much as anything, you don't have to just have the wings at one level. All right. Okay. I want to show off the Stoner Sunshine effect that it comes with. It does have an LED gimmick. So you open it up. Boom. Just a button inside. And I will say that this product balances better than it has any right to. Like, it's insane. And of course it starts to wobble like once I do that. But I'm telling you, just posing this guy and stuff, it's huge. But it's an actual fun toy to play with. It is something else. Okay. You know what? And then I lose the ability to turn it around. Okay. Alright guys, we're going to make it. Maybe if I bring it lower, it'll look better from you guys. Because sometimes I forget that I'm a lot higher than the camera. So the way things look for me isn't always how it looks for you guys. But, oh. If I had to nitpick, I would say one thing that I wish this came with were kind of little indents for the fingers. But at the same time, it's fine as it is. But just so you guys can see the brightness. Pretty cool stuff, right? That's Stoner Sunshine. We'll take a look at the stand, get him into some flight poses, holding the weapons, or at least one. Do a comparison with the other CCS Toys figures. Get you guys out of here. Okay, and a quick look at the stand. It comes with two different bases. This one is the more, I guess, articulated base. You can take this, and I don't know exactly how it pulls out, but this is supposed to give it, there we go. You got to push from the other side and just find the right angle. So, what this one can do, take that, and then this piece comes out. So if you want to do something like move it forward, backwards, those kinds of things, and you saw like there was a catastrophe in the back. So forward, backwards, you know. We will actually do it a little bit forward. Put it back in here. And then the way you lock it into place is by turning it, of course. And same for the bottom. There's a piece here that attaches to both of the stands, and you just lock it in place. So boom. And then, of course, this can adjust up and down. Now, with Mr. Wants to Fall Over and Embarrass Me after it's been sitting there for minutes just fine. Okay, so we're showing off him holding the axe, obviously using the alternate hands. But one thing that I also did here that I don't want to go unnoted is I changed out the gauntlets. He does come with longer blades as well. So, like, if you guys remember Black Getter, how he had one side that was like the longer blades and things like that, that's what it's reminiscent of. It's pretty darn cool. Alright. So there he be. And what I also did was change out, it just pegs in and out, but this piece around his taint in order to adapt to the stand. So what I'm going to do, and this is my first time messing with the stand, so this could freaking fall apart for all I know, but I'm going to trust it. CCS Toys, they do pretty solid work. No reason not to. So there's some rotation there, but for the most part, bam! That is what I'm talking about, man. Jesus. I know it's kind of jank, but I'm actually extending my camera so you guys can see it from my perspective as well. Okay. See? Man, this is what it's all about. Like, as a high-end super robot collector, this kind of shit is what I'm in it for. Focus more on the figure, too. Bam. Tell me that's not freaking cool. I wish I could close it out here, but I gotta, whatchamacallit, I gotta do a side-by-side with the other characters that CCS Toys has done, but, man, it's good. I'm telling y'all, this thing is freaking good. Ugh, while I'm kicking cameras and stuff like that. But yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so closing this review out, again, this is CCS Toys' Shin Getter 1. I've got him next to their previous products under their Super Robot line. I have Gurren Lagann. I have Mazinger Zero. They also did Parasaurus and Turnogrants, which is their homage to Huckbane. I think it's Mark II, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. But I'm not going to take him off the detail for this. These are the more major, newer Super Robot toys that they're doing. And honestly, man, if you're not in on this line, I highly recommend it. To me, personally, this is the spiritual successor to Super Robot Chigogan. Why do I say that? Because they're a lot bigger, more high-end, things like that. Basically, they're non-transforming, die-cast, highly articulated, and realistically, we as collectors, since the Super Robot Shigoken line from Bandai, we've grown. A lot of us have gone on to other things. If we're still collecting, we're collecting more high end products and things like that. And this is more like a grown up Super Robot Shigoken line. And it is fantastic. Again, I highly recommend these products when it comes to the die cast, when it comes to the size, when it comes to the quality, when it comes to the gimmicks. It's got it all, and it does it extremely well. Mazinger Zero wasn't the biggest fan of this one. Didn't like how the waist joint was, the touch sensor or whatever. The touch sensor was fine, but the battery drains on this one, even when it's off. So wasn't a big fan of how they work the LED gimmick. So far, haven't had that problem at all with Shin Getter 1. And I can't recommend that particular toy enough, but having them all together, I would say, if you can swing it, start getting them all. It's a good line to get in on. They do a variety of Super Robot toys from Gurren Lagann to Mazinger Zero to now Shin Getter. I really look forward to seeing what they even announce next because they are just doing what the fuck they want to do and they're doing it right. But anyway, this has been another Kuma Style review. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, please share. Not only subscribe, but hit that little bell button so you get notifications when new videos come up. And honestly, more than anything, stay well, stay safe. I'll see you next review.